On paper, this fight sounds ridiculous. Two titans against an entire army of cloned dinosaurs. And at first, it looks like a massacre. But there's one Jurassic monster combo that could actually turn this into a real war. This isn't just Godzilla versus Jurassic Park. This is a full-scale extinction event. On one side, you've got Godzilla, a living, natural disaster with atomic breath, absurd durability, and the kind of raw power that turns armies into collateral damage. Beside him is Kong, faster, smarter, more adaptable, and dangerous in a way dinosaurs are not built to handle. He uses terrain. He improvises. He fights like a predator that understands war. And on the other side, every major creature Jurassic World can throw at them. Swarms, tanks, pack hunters, aerial attackers, apex predators, and the two monsters that actually make this fight interesting. Because no, the T-Rex is not the real problem here. We're ranking the entire Jurassic World army from least useful to the creatures that could do actual damage. And by the end, we're answering the only question that matters. Can numbers, speed, and hybrid intelligence do enough to overcome Titan-level power? Because if this battle stays on land, the answer is brutal. If it shifts into the right environment, it gets a lot uglier. Number 10, the swarm. The small predators are chaos, not victory. They can overwhelm humans, they can distract, they can create openings. But against Godzilla and Kong, they're not changing the battle. They're background noise. Godzilla crushes half of them just by moving. Kong clears the rest with raw force. So if the swarm isn't the answer, what is? Number 9, herbivore tanks. The heavy herbivores have size, armor, and impact. In a normal dinosaur war, they matter a lot. Here, they're too slow, too readable, and too dependent on momentum. Kong can sidestep and counter. Godzilla can absorb the hit and keep moving. They can bruise. They cannot finish. Number 8, the flyers. The flyers are annoying, not decisive. They create visual chaos. They force Kong to keep looking up. They might even slow him down for a moment. But the second Godzilla looks skyward, the air war is over. One atomic breath turns the swarm into falling debris. So the sky doesn't save Jurassic World. The ground doesn't save them either. Number 7, the raptors. This is where the Jurassic side starts getting dangerous. Because the raptors don't fight with size. They fight with timing. They flank. They probe. They wait for distraction. They attack wounded spots. Against Kong especially, that matters. But there's still one problem. Being smart is not the same as being strong enough. The raptors can create pressure. They can't survive the counterattack. And that becomes a pattern in this whole war. Number 6, Carnotaurus and Allosaurus. These are pure aggression. Fast, violent, relentless. But they're also exactly the kind of predators Kong handles best. Direct attackers with no real answer once he closes distance. Against Godzilla, they're even worse off. Too small to dominate, too exposed to survive. Number 5, the Mosasaurus. Now this changes things. The Mosasaurus is the first Jurassic creature that actually introduces environment as a weapon. On land, irrelevant. In deep water, dangerous. Because Kong is far less comfortable there. And even Godzilla, though dominant underwater, now has to split his attention between surface threats and something massive below him. Curiosity gap. But even the Mosasaurus isn't the creature that nearly breaks this fight. Number 4, Rexy. Rexy is iconic. She's terrifying in her own universe. Against humans and other dinosaurs, she's an apex nightmare. Against titans, she's outclassed. Too small to dominate Kong, too vulnerable to survive Godzilla's direct power. She matters emotionally. She does not change the outcome strategically. Number 3. Indoraptor. The Indoraptor is where Jurassic World stops trying to overpower titans and starts trying to outplay them. It's smaller, faster, smarter. It doesn't need to win head-on. It needs one opening. It climbs, it stalks, it strikes precisely. Against Kong, that's dangerous because Kong can bleed. Kong can be distracted. Kong can be isolated. The Indoraptor is not the strongest dinosaur in this war. It's the cleanest killer. Number 2. Indominus Rex. This is the first creature in the Jurassic army that feels like a war asset instead of an animal. The Indominus Rex is brutal, intelligent, adaptable, and chaotic in the worst possible way. It can create confusion. It can force misreads. It can command attention long enough for everything else to swarm. And that matters, because the Jurassic World army does not win by overpowering Godzilla and Kong separately. They win, if they win at all, by dividing them. And the Indominus is the one creature built to do exactly that. Number 1. Indominus plus Indoraptor together. By themselves, they're dangerous. Together, they become a strategy. The Indominus creates chaos up front. The Indoraptor exploits it from the shadows. One draws focus, one punishes distraction. That is the Jurassic World Army's best path to victory. Not power, not size, coordination.
So who actually wins? At the start, Jurassic World floods the field. The smaller predators rush first, not to win, but to force movement. Flyers dive, herbivores charge. Mid-tier carnivores hit from the flanks. For a few moments, it works. Kong gets crowded. His attention gets split. The battlefield gets messy. Then Godzilla changes the temperature of the entire war. One atomic blast erases the sky. Another tears through the center mass. Suddenly, the Jurassic numbers don't feel like an army anymore. They feel like targets. But this is where the hybrids make it interesting. The Indominus doesn't rush blindly. It waits. It forces Kong into a close-quarter scramble while the Indoraptor attacks at the worst possible angles. For a moment, a real moment, Kong looks overwhelmed. And that's the closest Jurassic World gets to winning. Because the second Godzilla has space, the battle breaks. No dinosaur here can survive repeated Titan-level punishment. Not Rexy, not the Mosasaurus outside perfect conditions, not even the hybrids once they lose initiative. The Jurassic army can create pressure. It can create chaos. It can even create one ugly stretch where Kong is in real danger. But it cannot maintain control long enough to finish the job. The winners are Godzilla and Kong. Not because the Jurassic World army is weak, because Titan scaling is just different. Jurassic World's best creatures are terrifying predators. Godzilla and Kong are battlefield-ending forces. That's the gap. And once the battle stops being a swarm and turns into a war of endurance, power, and recovery, the Titans pull away hard. Now, if you want the one version of this fight that gets uncomfortable for the Titans, here it is. Deep water, broken terrain, limited visibility, Mosasaurus below,
Indominus coordinating the surface chaos, Indoraptor targeting Kong when he's forced off balance. That version doesn't flip the final result for me, but it absolutely makes this battle longer, uglier, and far more costly. So that's the real answer. The Jurassic World army can make this a fight, but only Godzilla and Kong can make it a massacre. And now, I want your verdict. Which creature gives the Titans the most trouble? The Mosasaurus, the Indominus Rex, or the Indoraptor? If you want more deep dive crossover breakdowns like this, where we look past hype and scale the threat properly, subscribe, because on this channel, we don't just rank monsters, we dissect what makes them dangerous. Stick around, but don't get eat alive. Beware.